All right, it looks like we are live. Let me find us in the group. Welcome to everybody who is watching us. I am Barbara Carr with Fuse Empire, and we are live inside of the Tools, Tips, and Training to Grow Your Business Facebook page and also live on YouTube. I am here today interviewing Ray Tamayo. Ray, say hi.
Hello, how are you?
And so I'm going to give him an interview, and so that you guys can get to know him better and learn a little bit to grow your business. We're going to be talking about how to truly understand attraction marketing today. And before I jump into the introduction, I just want to let people who are watching know that I am keeping an eye on the chat in the Facebook group on this video. So if you are watching, let us know that you're watching. And if you have questions for Ray, please make sure that you put those in the chat so that I can get those questions out to him. So Ray, before we jump into all the questions about attraction marketing, why don't we start with, actually, before I ask you your first question, I should tell people who you are a little bit.
That'd be
So
good.
let me go there. All right. So Ray came from small beginnings growing up on the south side of Chicago, just 30 minutes from downtown. He dropped out of high school, but not on his dreams. He grew up in a lower to middle class, blue collar driven area with an unspoken philosophy that was passed down to most people, which was work hard and expect little, just be happy. This never set well with Ray. I could see why, Ray. Sound exciting. He
No,
knew
it's not.
there was more from working hard. After serving in the military, Ray was approached about network marketing that opened his mind to business. Although his network marketing experience started slow, he went on to owning his own businesses, and he used several of network marketing ideas to build successful businesses. In fact, he's built successful real estate businesses and six-figure carpet cleaning business. He returned to network marketing because it was still in his heart, and the strategies of marketing used today to help others from the struggle of figuring it all out for themselves was very exciting for him. Now, Ray has also been influenced by some of the top marketers and training in the in-home business industry and professional public speakers that include Bob Proctor, Les Brown, Joe Schroeder, Tom, Big Al Schreider, Jeffrey Combs, Dan Kennedy, and lots of others. For 15 years or more, Ray has studied the science of what he calls personal achievement and has come to one common denominator about success. A man or woman can achieve anything by action and result. Ray is also a published author of several books on Amazon. So when we finish this video, I will make sure to post Ray's link in the comments for his YouTube channel, as well as where you can find him on Amazon and on social media. But Ray, you're newer to the group. A lot of the people that are in this group know each other pretty well, and they're pretty supportive of one another. So I'd like them to get to know who you are as a person. Why don't you give us a little bit of your background just so they get to know you before we jump into the questions?
Okay, great. So basically, right now I'm living in southwest suburbs of Illinois in Chicago, and I do work, but I also build a part-time business as we're building to go full-time. I've had a lot of ups and downs in business, so I have a wife, I have three children. Um, Very thankful for my family, seeing that I had a broken family growing up. It's what we would call our why. One of the things are, why do we do the things that we do? Well, you know what? You had said it before, Barbara, that it was your children. That's your number one. That's your drive. That's the thing that motivates you to go and keep going, even when things seem to be getting tough. And that's how it is. And I don't know how to turn off these notifications. One thing I haven't figured out was my computer. But anyway, the thing is that, I'm a regular guy, but I am kind of uncommon, that I've learned to really boil things down to an attitude. If your attitude is right, then you're going to move in the right directions. You're going to attract the right people. You're going to move into a place where that let's just put it this way, that you really want to be in. And it may not be with all the glitz and glamour that most people think when you go into a business of your own, or go into a direction that you can increase your lifestyle, increase your circle of influence, and just move forward in life, and really enjoy it. Let's put it that way. Even in uncertain times as we are today, I know that I have peace. I know that I can keep going. I know that I don't have to, I'm not stressed. I mean, even though stress is around us, it's what's going on outside of you doesn't mean that has to go on inside of you. If you have the proper perspective in a lot of things. So, I'm an ordinary guy, but I do feel that everyone has a purpose, and that purpose could be realized by just moving forward and finding out who you really are. So that's what know thyself is one of the things that's, it's a saying that's, uh, I believe in the Ark in Greece somewhere, it says, know thyself. And that's one of the things, know why I do what I do. That was a big, study for me, was myself. Why am I doing these things? Why does this always happen to me? If anybody's ever felt that, why do I always, get in these situations, or get around the wrong things, or the wrong people, or the right things and the right people? Why? So I was the kid that always asked why, and everybody kind of just said, shut up, kid.
I have one of those kids. He's 17 now, and I would always be like, why is he asking me why so much? And now he's such a smart kid. He's in honors classes. He's a junior in high school, and he almost has an associate's degree already, and he's not even graduated from high school yet. And I just think, all those why questions, the poor kid was just trying to learn. And I was like, I don't know, James.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So, okay, perfect. Thanks for sharing that background, Ray. Tell us a little bit about how old were you when you first started your entrepreneurial journey, and how did it come to fruition?
Well, I'll tell you, one day there was a guy who had a carpet cleaning machine. I was probably about 17 years old. Uh, and I'll go into this, but he wouldn't sell it. And I thought, boy, I wish I could do that. And I remember wishing I could do that, but it didn't come to pass. And then there was nobody really to guide me. I didn't really have a lot of guidance when I was younger. I just kind of grew up. I didn't, I wasn't brought up. So I was just back and forth in a lot of things. And someone came to me about, I remember looking for a job in a paper, and there was one of these jobs where you go, guys, they said, hey, go get leads for this company, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, okay, let me try that. I didn't have nothing else going on. So I went and I did this. Well, I ended up selling vacuum cleaners door to door. And I was like, okay, great. This is cool, but I mean, when do we get paid? Well, you get paid when you sell something. All right. And now here I am all positive about it, because I'm thinking, yeah, I found something. Well, I go and I start doing this door to door, and I'm selling vacuum cleaners, just that nobody had the credit to buy these vacuum cleaners. So it was a real funny situation. And at the same time, I mean, I liked being around the people. I was the guy actually who all the other salespeople jumped in their car, because most of them didn't have cars of their own. So they jumped in my car, and I bust them around to these places so they could pass out these leads and get somebody, calls, so they can go so the company itself, which was a couple of guys who grew their own sales business, basically. And it was a third party product. And basically we went around door to door doing that. So it was short lived, because the sales that I did have, I didn't have, um, or the sales I did have, people who said yes, we ran their credit, and their credit was no good. So, and they didn't have cash. So, but it was one of those games you had to run it out. I didn't know at the time that, I felt like I wanted to do that, but at the same time, it was just like, man, I don't know where to get money. I need gas, I need this, I need that kind of thing. So it was cash flow was my problem, but it was a learning experience, and I took all these things as a learning experience, even though, I kept looking at myself, putting this weight on my back, thinking I'm just not good enough, maybe, and
Yeah.
that continued. that continued in my life for a while, and I couldn't get rid of it. It was an anxiety issue that I had. Didn't even know I had it, and I just thought everybody was coping. I thought, well, everybody else is doing well. Why, you know? So that was one of the things that I started to move into. That I saw, oh wow, I can, you know, I would love to do something. I don't know what to do. I think a lot of people are there.
Okay. And so you got you got really good at what we call attraction marketing,
Yeah.
right? So tell the people, first of all, what is attraction marketing, and then in your professional opinion, what is the difference between attraction marketing and conventional marketing?
Okay. So conventional marketing could be like a company that makes a, like Coca-Cola, or your big companies that go around and hire, companies like you, right? Like your company, to do some type of advertising for them. Not specifically you. You have more of a footprint on specifics, and they just go out to everybody, and put this marketing campaign together. And it's the big companies with the big dollars, with the deep pockets, that can go out and throw out their brands, and constantly be in front of people through all kinds of media. Television was the biggest one, radio, and those types of things. And always be in the face of a customer, right? And their brand gets branded in people's eyes. You think, hey, where are we going to go eat? Well, McDonald's has a play park. Let's take the kids. So those types of things are just big brands that don't need a whole lot of push, but they push a lot.
Mhm.
And they constantly are out there in front of people, and that's one of their strengths. However, what about you and me, or well, I'll say me, the little guy who's starting a carpet cleaning business out of his garage, or a network marketer who just bought their package of products and they don't know what to do with them, how are they going to get them out? And so marketing, attraction marketing, is being able to have the right message to the right market, to the exact person that needs what you are, that you have to offer the service, the answer, the solution to a problem, a specific problem. And that's why we call it ultra specific. You can have ultra specific, you're starting to talk to an ultra specific group of people. And it's niche marketing. Who am I talking to? What problem do they have? How I solve it, and here's the answer, right? And so that if you can solve that problem, if you could solve that specific problem for people, they will end up buying from you, period. If they like you, know you, like you, and trust you, which just comes from you being consistently out there. People know, like, and trust McDonald's. People know, like, and trust, all these big companies, right? And because of the internet, it's really put us all on an even playing field. Even though you may feel like, well, I don't know that I'm, um, if I'm good enough to be on this playing field or whatever. It's an even playing field. You can go out there and start getting out in front of people, marketing to people. And it could be so insignificant to you, but it's very significant to somebody else. And attraction marketing, I'll put it down to break it down to the ridiculous, is this: it's just love. You're putting out the love of what you love to do, and people are coming because it answers their specific problem, and they know that you can solve it because you just love it. I remember people coming to me about, I went out with postcards. I couldn't compete with the guy who had 50 people in his carpet cleaning business that went out. He's got 50 people doing it. So it's 50 times himself bringing in cash flow into his business, right? $24,000 worth of advertising a month. I mean, that's huge. That was huge for me at the time. But I learned a way to do it that shrunk the time that I would have to grow by, oh my gosh, months and months. And I had a small media piece that I went out and I could hit any area that I wanted, and and the phone would ring from the time that it would go out. The next day it would ring. I mean, I would get calls, at least 7 to 10 calls, and that's putting out about 300 pieces. So me going to let somebody else do the work caused me to be able to sit down and do the things that I enjoyed doing, was answering the phone, setting appointments, and going to do work so we could stay in business. So I loved that. I loved carpet clean too, meaning that when I would go do it, people would watch me and they say, "Boy, you really love what you do." And even though it was laborious work, it was labor. However, I did it. I was like, yeah, I got a way to do this. And then I started learning like quicker ways to do it that were still effective, very effective. So I started really, it was moving. I had all the I had all there's a restaurant that started in Chicago, Rosebud Restaurants. I was their carpet cleaner. I had to do a corporate. I had to meet with a corporate person to actually get that business, but it was, I got it right. And once I got it, I had all their stores, and it was just me out of my garage, one machine. I grew to two machines. I had a couple part-time employees, and that was another situation having employees. But that was it got me wet in this whole business stuff, right? What does it take? What does this take to get success? What does it take to get off of your, get your feet off the ground and really start running? And that's when you really get uncomfortable. I mean, it becomes an uncomfortable spot, a good uncomfortable spot, meaning that you get to grow. And I don't think a lot of people understand that when they're coming into a business situation, that it's not going to be all glamorous. You're going to have to grow, and it's going to get scary. So those are the things that I started to really realize, that attraction marketing is a thing that you love, and people who need the answer come to people who love what they do.
So to sum it up, then, when you're doing attraction marketing, people are naturally attracted to you because you love what you do, and so you're not having to chase clients. Is that what you're
Right,
saying?
right.
Okay,
So
so
you're right.
so I wanted to ask you also, because I love, there was at one point where you talked about you created a marketing piece, right? Postcard or whatever it was. You sent other people out on the field to deliver those postcards or media pieces. And then people started calling you and you were answering the phone, sales are being made, all this is happening, and you didn't have to do any of that legwork.
Correct.
So there's one thing that I always like to teach my people too, that the best thing, the most freeing part of being an entrepreneur is waking up in the morning and getting an email that says you've been paid, so and so bought this, or the sales have come in. And I love that you're working that model too, because it really is true that you don't have to talk to somebody to make a sale.
Right.
And so why don't you elaborate on that?
Okay. So and there's a real fine line in that I want to cover too, is that there's going to be times you talk to people, and there's going to be also people who want it now. Just think about Amazon. Have you ever bought anything from Amazon? Well,
Every day.
did you talk to Jeff Bezos before you bought something? I mean, did you talk to the people? And Jeff Bezos had probably one of the greatest ideas. And he started out as a book club. He started as a bookstore, you know. And I was just listening to one of his earlier interviews, and it was just amazing. He started out as a bookstore. They thought he wasn't going to make it. He had 300 employees, if that. And then, it went ballistic. So, and he beat out Barnes and Nobles, all the guys who had these big, big properties, brick and mortar, that were probably paying overhead up the butt. You know what I mean? And here he is, sitting back behind a computer, just collecting sales. So, yeah, it's there's a fine line. There's going to be people that you talk to, but if you're set up right, yeah, people will come, they will buy just because. And I've had this happen. I've had people come off of YouTube videos and just go ahead and buy something just because they saw me, they knew me. Well, they knew me through the videos. They didn't know me in person. I never talked to them like we're talking live right now, and they purchased something, right? And then there were some that wanted to hear me first, and then, you know, just make that quick introduction to make sure I was real. I remember when I was sitting back and watching other people on the other side of the computer and thinking, are they real? Are they real? Or is this just, a game, right? So there's that little bit of a fear factor, which gives a gap between you and that person. But, the more you're out there, the more consistently you're out there sharing in a multitude of ways, what you can do for somebody, right? And putting out value. Let's put it that way. Putting out value, and value that it gives them something that they could take away for free before they even come and buy from you. And that's a big deal.
For
You know,
sure.
that's a real big deal, because if you're just giving information, great. But did it actually do something to that person where they could go, oh, I'm going to go and try that. And when they
Mhm.
try that, they go, oh, I got a result, and they say, oh, wow, this is so cool. And you do it all the time, Barbara. There's no, you're always giving value. I see your videos. I see what you put out. So you're always giving value out there where people can actually take it, use it, and then come back to you because they need to know something else. There's always something else that you're going to need, right?
Of course.
Especially in business. A lot of people think you just need your computer and a hookup, an internet, but there's things you need to be able to get set up correctly.
Right. Now, Ray, I've got a burning question here, and it's spur of the moment. I know that when you did that marketing piece, I know that's been a long time ago, but do you happen to remember what was on it that made people pick up the phone and call so much?
Mm-hmm. It said I had a special that I ran for people. True special. I would give it to you if we went, but it was $9.95 per room. $9.95 per room. It had to
Wow.
be a it had to be a 4-room minimum, okay? Because I had to be, or I couldn't do it, right? 4-room minimum, basic cleaning, right? But it was professional, and we would do it, no problem. And that they would just go, they would have to, it was so close to free, they would have to call me.
Right. It just makes sense. So you made it low enough for them that it felt like, wow, this is basically free, but it was high enough for you that it made it worth your time to at least go out there. And
You
then
had to go out, right?
when
And
you got there, Ray, and you did these carpet cleanings, what did you do to be able to convert them into more?
okay, well, I would do a little presentation, say, hey, with this special, this is what you're getting, you know, and then I would maybe take an inconspicuous spot where I can go ahead and clean with a heavier cleaner that costs me more anyway to use. And a lot of people don't even know these chemicals cost money. They're not cheap by any means, especially some of the ones that have real specific needs, or could are solutions to real specific type of problems. But I would clean it, and I would show them the difference. This is lighter, but this is brighter. You know what I mean? And I said, if you want to do that, it would be, and I would tell them that on the phone when they would call me. I had it down to the script that I would talk to them about it. So I would let them know if there was any extra cost, you would know right there. There's no obligation. So, and it was taught to all my sales, the other guys who were there, the other carpet cleaners. And so I would read that off, let them know this is what it is, this is what time we'll be out, and then, it would be set. So, all the other ideas or thoughts of, it is, are you guys good? All that was answered. There's, that the meeting, the initial contact, what kind of carpet they had. This is what we do. This is what you're going to get when we come out from the promotion that we're giving you. And, um, you know, this is, and this is what you're going to, this is another fee that you're going to pay, because everybody got paid a gas fee, guys were using their own vehicles. So there was a $15 gas fee involved in that. And nobody really squawked at that. They saw that the guys, they were, that's what it was. So I
Nice.
didn't have fancy vans with big old, logos on them or anything.
So you were able to get into their homes or in front of them, right, at a very inexpensive cost to you guys. But I can imagine that that probably caused people to, when they got their rooms done for the first time super inexpensively, but at some point they need those carpets cleaned again, right? If they have a graduation or a newborn
Absolutely.
baby, and they're going to call the person who they entrusted to do this whenever that was before, right?
Yeah.
So I can see how that definitely allowed you to have an abundance of leads and clients.
Right. I mean, pets, like you said, one person could have pets, aunts, uncles. Hey, call this guy. I got a guy. And you become that guy. You know what I mean? You're a social media girl. You become a guy. You become the cleaning guy. I
Yeah.
got a guy. And when I started to go in more affluent places, you know, I was there. That's how people pass information. I got a guy. He's not expensive. He's not
Right.
gonna, he's not gonna kill you. He's not gonna rake you over the coals. Which I knew that most other carpet cleaners were hitting people at about $500 right away because they had these big machines. I was cleaning the same way they clean, right? But they had the fancy machines that they said, oh man, this does the best cleaning. It does this, does that. But people want to do business with people, not machines.
That's true, definitely true. So now we're in a time in this world that I don't think any of us ever expected to live in. We didn't anticipate that the whole world would have to go virtual almost overnight. So now that we've gone virtual, what do you have to say about why moving online is so important for our businesses?
Well, number one is because the people that are really maybe playing with it right now, you're going to see that everybody has been quarantined, been pushed into staying home, right? And now you either see the kids on the video games, which I know my kids have gotten on video games, but you see them on their phones, you see them on the computer, you know, whatever it is, they're now forced to say, I've got to entertain myself. You know, people are forced to entertain themselves other than the ways they entertain themselves. So they got to get that. And I'm going to be doing some videos on hooked. I'm really being hooked on why people get hooked on social media. Why are you think about it, Barbara? You go on social media for a whole different reason than Aunt, so and so, or Uncle Bob does, to see what's going on and talk about politics, right?
Right.
So that there's a whole different reason. And so when you start to understand that you can actually move products and services through this medium we call the internet to a mass market of people, then why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Right? So there's a skill level that you have to come to know, or you go and hire the experts like you, right? And therefore, now they can help you get your stuff out a lot quicker, a lot faster, and put you in that position to be the answer to the people who are looking for that product or service. And it's amazing. Even my son right now is like, Dad, I got about 3 ideas. He's like, I got 3 ideas right now. This. I'm like, oh, dude, you're on it. That's it. And what he really wants to do is pay off his college, which he hasn't even started yet. But he wants to be able to pay off his college before he even goes. So
That's
that's
awesome.
that's crazy, right? So I mean, we're seeing this, and because of all these, uh, I don't want gurus, positive minded speakers, whatever, telling you all you can do, by just signing up for their course, right? But basically what is here is so it's amazing. It's amazing this time right now, even though a lot of people are like freaked out by it. And we weren't thinking about people dying. We don't want to see Aunt Sally die. We don't want to see Uncle, you know, Jeb die. We don't want to see those people die. But people were dying way before this stuff happened, right? It's just now it's in our face and it's pushed in our face. So, it's like, hey, what can you do right now to be able to change your situation right? And I guarantee people are going to need to change their situations right now more than ever. I mean, more than ever right now, because what's going to happen in the next 2 years, 3 years, we're going to look back at this day and go, oh, damn, I should have started, you know, oh, damn, I should have done that.
Mhm.
And I've done it. I've been in that regret. I don't want to ever be in that regret again. And thank God, I finally came out of my cocoon, so to speak, and said, that's it. I'm not living, I'm not living in that, I'm not going to live in that, in regret. It's just not going to happen.
Right. So, Ray, tell us a little bit about what you can do to help somebody. Like, if they're hearing this and they're like, this sounds really good, how can Ray help me in my business? What would that look like?
Absolutely. So basically what I do to help others, and number one, people are coming to network marketing. Right now, Steph and I have a business that we work, and we have some products that we can help people move their business online. Okay, as far as network marketing, and I'm just going to speak to network marketers for a minute, people who move products and services through that type of situation. Okay, but network marketing or direct sales, people, you need to have a place online, right? You need to have a presence online. And and today, just to have a presence, on Facebook or Instagram is not a presence. You have to have multiple places that you are at, and those are the places that the people are at that are looking for an answer, right? So if what we teach is how do you brand yourself, number one, um, how to simply set up, we use blogs. In fact, I'm going to share with this is the strategy we use. Blog is, whether people like blogs or not, blogs are still a presence, and blogs now have become the new funnel for a lot of top marketers. So basically, it's a value driven space, right, where you're answering problems. You're being the answer person for the problems. You become the trusted source for people to come and say, oh, let me see what Ray's talking about, let me see what Barbara's talking about, right? And in that space of a blog, and then a product line, you're able to move people to this place, into a funnel that's attached to your blog, and into that specific solution for that problem, which is attached to a product that you've created. Okay, it's done with third party people, do it with third parties. We're moving into our own product line, you know of making some things, a product for people. And so, because of that, because our uh, system is being able to move into a place where we can now do personal product lines. You can have, other people's products, make money off of other people's products. You can make money off of your own products. I suggest you do it on your own products. You know, it's you have more command of it, right? So basically, you're going out, you're learning a skill. There's a group, there's a YouTube channel my wife watched to be able to learn garden. Right? She wanted to garden some things, and she's watching these people, and these people became minimalists, and they got a minimalist lifestyle. They have their own. They're growing their own food. They're creating their own food from what they do. But this is what it did for them. First, they started putting out content. They started sharing what they do. People started coming to learn how to grow carrots the right way, right? Who would think that would be a problem for people? So basically, they started showing how they grow carrots, and it's a real interesting thing if you don't know how to do it right. It's not just about planting seeds. There's certain ways to do it. So these people showed this, and they went on and progressed, and now they have this big follow. I mean, millions of subscribers. So what we do is help people understand that, put that in perspective, let them know, hey, this is how you go out. A lot of network marketing companies, you have to understand, they have requirements of how they put out information. You're going to see a lot of people go by the wayside right now because a lot of network marketing companies, people are falsifying information, not because they want to falsify information. They're just excited and they say things that you shouldn't say, that basically hinders the company. So a lot of the companies are, have clamped down to say all you can do is home meetings. Home meetings are out the window, right? Home meetings, motel meetings, hotel meetings, they're all out the window now. So what do you do? Well, now you can create a space online to be able to move products and services online without being all spammy, without being all, and that's attraction marketing, without being spammy, without being, hey, this is what I do. This is, hey, you need some mascara. You're on videos a lot, Barbara. I got I got the greatest eyeliner that you need right now. So those kind of things is that people don't have to go out and do that. All they got to do is go share what they love to do. Now, if your product or service has helped you become an answer to someone else's problem, guess what? It's you have to focus on doing that. Continue to sell what the problem. Continue to sell the problem. It's like I know there's a guy he's talked about selling the hole, not the drill. Sell the hole. Sell the hole. What kind of problem do you have? What kind of situation are you in that it may not be this thing or that thing. It may not be your product or service. You might have to maybe you could point them to somebody else. You know, so what the thing is that network marketing, home businesses, and direct sales is starting to grow, and it's going to continue to grow because of uncertain times. What are we going to do in 6 months? We don't know. What's the landscape going to be like? We're not sure. But what we are sure of is that we can get on this computer, we can share, we can share live videos, we can be real right now to the people that we may not be able to get face to face of in front of right now. So what do we show? Attraction marketing strategies to be able to set yourself up, to be able to have people come into your business and, build your list so that you can find the right type of customers that are looking for you, and you could sell them your products, and you can have a successful business online.
Okay, and so there's a lot of network marketers out there that I know that when I teach them similar things like this,
Yeah.
one of their biggest fears is the cost of going online. So what can you share about the expense of taking your
Yeah.
business online?
Well, it could be very expensive because people want to sell you a lot of stuff. Um, Sometimes stuff you don't need. There's only going to be 3 strategies that you're able to keep up with. Basically, you're going to be able to work maybe 1 or 2 strategies as far as lead generation and things like that. There's 1 or 2 strategies, attraction marketing, that you'll be able to start on, build yourself up, and then be able to take the training wheels off, so to speak, so that you can ride your own bike, right? And that's exactly what I'm excited about. That's why I like doing what I do, is because I don't want to keep people stuck or keep them in front of always, having to go, oh man, but where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's like, when am I going to be on my own? When am I going to be, Barbara Carr? When am I going to be, Gary Vaynerchuk? Whatever, you know, when am I going to be able to be on my own? Which is noble. I believe that's a noble thing. You want to be your own entity. You want a real business. So basically what you do, you have to learn some skills. It's going to cost you some money. It's not going to cost you a whole lot. What is it going to cost? Maybe hosting your own service. If you're going to do it on your own, hosting, you're going to need WordPress or a blog, how to set up a blog, how to have the social media sites and you said this before, Barbara, I thought it was fantastic. Where your clients are. If you're not, if your clients aren't on LinkedIn, then you're not wanting to be on LinkedIn. If your clients aren't, they're not on TikTok, you don't want to be on TikTok, right?
Right.
Where is your specific age group, your demographic? And a lot of people don't even look at these things. They don't even think, oh, wow, I got to think about how old they are, from what range to what. Right now, I'm ready to start setting up ads on Facebook. Started with some campaigns, and I was restarting. I restarted last year in November, right? Restarted my business last year in November because I I was growing again. Let's put it that way, right? And I ended up, finding some places that I wanted to work with, and some a marketing community that I wanted to work with. And I really found out what it took real quick. I thought, okay, this is where it's going. This is where you want to be. So you got to run here, and you know you've got to take every ounce of energy and time that you have extra to put into this, right? So even though it may seem like it's not, you got to be ready for the long game. So even in, especially in network marketing, especially in if you're going online with your network marketing business, think about the long game. Don't think about, oh, I want to make $10,000 overnight. I've made quick money online. It doesn't last. You might as well forget it doesn't last. And people are spamming. People are going. The last person I talked to, good guy, great guy, he was ready to spend $37,000 to go into a program. I know top programs. I know these programs. I've done them. I've had people send me money in the mail. If you've seen anybody that ripped open, I've got videos that I was doing that. It's real. People are sending people money, cash, right? But that doesn't mean you're going to make it. All right. That there's a big competition right there. A lot of people are in that space, and and when you're in it, I'm telling you, you'll make money I rather make money for years than months. Okay. That's just the honest truth. So, network marketing provides a long-term income, and residual income is real. Is real, is real, and it does. You got to really think the long game. Don't think to quit your job right away. And this is where I talk about attitude. I'm an attitude coach, man. You got to have an attitude. You got to have a great attitude. You got to have a winning attitude. You got to have an attitude of knowing that I'm going to win. I'm going to win, but I'm going to win at any cost, but it's always competing against myself, not everybody else. So if in fact you're seeking to be able to take your online, your network marketing business online, I'll give you 30 minutes of free coaching, show you a quick strategy um, of that, like on a Zoom. I'll show you the setup. I'll show you the map. Okay. It's real simple. Okay. It will take you time, period. Okay. And then you're going to have to double yourself, triple yourself, become omnipresent online. You're going to have to be everywhere all at once. And believe me, it will work in your favor. And Barbara
So,
knows all about those things. So then you can
right.
hire.
And Ray, you just offered a bit of free coaching if somebody wanted to reach out to you. So if they wanted to take advantage of that, how could they reach you?
Okay. So they go to joinrayandstephanie.com, and then go to work with us. And then at the bottom of that work with us, there's a calendar. You click that calendar and tell me when we could get together. I'll let you know our best times that we have right now, but you can click in there. That would alert me through Calendly to know what time I can get a hold of you. And then we'll set up a time that's conducive for both of us. And then we can go ahead and I'll show you that map, and I guarantee it works. Period.
Perfect. Awesome. So Ray, what do you believe is the future of marketing online?
Okay, I believe that people are forced now to go online. You're going to be forced to go online. So all the excuse of why you wouldn't, you have to. Big companies, network marketing companies that didn't want anybody online because they were afraid of lawsuits, basically, because they didn't want misrepresentation of their company, product, service, right? And you see a lot of them now. There, a lot of them are, and a lot of them have been hit with by the FTC, have been sent notices by the FTC to say, hey, you know, um, you need to be compliant, right? And so there's a lot of them that aren't compliant right now with the FTC, right? But because of free enterprise, we can go ahead and start companies. Now, I'm not here to bash other companies. I'm just here to tell you that there are companies right now that are going to be forced to make some changes, which will be um, the representatives of those companies now will have to move around those changes as well. So it's going to be, but they're going to have to move online. So you guys are going to, it's a good thing. Number one. Number two, there's a lot you're going to have to adjust to take your business online. And I guarantee if you knew attraction marketing, you would not even have to worry about that.
Okay. And Ray, you've actually had formal training in attraction marketing. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you tell the group about that?
Yeah. So back in the day when I was trying to find out a way to find more leads for my business, okay, back in 2008, I was told that you got to find more people, right? And I think a lot of times we hear that from uplines or what have you, or sponsors, and I call them benefactors. People who benefactored you into something. But what they do is they tell you got to find more people. Well, back in the day in '08, back in the day in '08, man, listen to me. Back in the day in '08, when people, flyers, the whole thing, flyers, Panera bread meetings, all these things were happening, right? Network marketing, meetup groups. Hey, get a meetup group, and all this stuff. So it was all face to face. And I was looking online. I was like, man, there's a way to do this. I know there's a way to do this. I know. So I met a guy in New Jersey who was a top recruiter for a couple companies. I went to see him for little over 2 years. I would fly to New Jersey every 3 months because he was having seminars. And I would fly to Jersey every 3 months. Boom, 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 boom. And he was a great marketer, fantastic marketer, actually one of the greatest marketers up there right now. Not marketing now. He's meat and seafood, door to door meat and seafood salesman, right? Great salesperson. He could do face to face, man. I mean, crush it. So anyway, um, he had a way. He had a way of breaking down business models of other companies, big companies, and he took that into network marketing. Well, he taught some other people. They took it online. They blew up, right? And so he's, that. I mean, it's a test to his teaching that really was really powerful to a lot of people. So, but some people teach you one thing, some people teach you another. You learn that way as you go. For 12 plus years, I sought out the science of personal achievement, meaning Think and Grow Rich. I taught Think and Grow Rich book studies for free back in the day. I was starting a public speaking business. It didn't really go well for me. And then I started looking at other things. It was just I was there. I was looking. I was just one of these. So, but it put me in a lot of situations. Actually, it put me in a lot of situations to find out what I liked, what I didn't like, and what I really wanted to do. And like I told you, Barbara, I didn't know I had ADD till last year. I went and got tested. I said, man, something's wrong. Yeah, I got all these thoughts, all these jobs I had, all these businesses I had. What's wrong with me? So I ended up going and getting tested, and I found out I had ADD, and it was really sharp. It was, I had a pretty strong curve in it. And anyway, so I really started to see when I knew that, I learned how to work within it, and that's been fantastic for me. So with that alone, there's some things that you're gonna have to learn about yourself that will help you be super successful. And it's just knowing yourself. So for 12 plus years, science of personal achievement, Think and Grow Rich, science of getting rich, all these things, right? Books I read, things I put myself into to try and say, okay, well, and I learned this, that if you stay in and are able to take a lot of pain, you know, you're going to come out the other side going, holy crap, I made it. you know, I made it. So, I'm a slow grower, but which helps me shrink other people's times. You know, I don't want to see people go through what I went through, but at the same time, everybody goes through their own growth period. It's all different for everybody. So don't feel bad if you feel like, well, it's not working fast enough for me. And you got to shut that voice down and say, hey, I'm in it to win it. I'm not in it for a minute. This is what I'm going to do. And this is what I'm going to be successful at because I believe. And that's where you believe in your dream. greater than what you see on the outside, and your dream will manifest itself outwardly. Period. It's the way God set it up, and it's a cool way. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want it any other way.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you. So this has been a great interview. I think you've given the people that are watching this some great information, valuable tips that can help them move forward even during this pandemic. And you've even offered that free coaching time, which I know could be beneficial to anybody who's watching this, that, you know, maybe you're not sure where you're going because of the pandemic, or maybe the pandemic isn't what slowed you down. Maybe you were slow before the pandemic. You know, take advantage of that. When anytime somebody offers you something of value, all you have to do is put your time in. Make sure that you take that if it will help you get to the next step in your business, where you're going. Ray, before we jump off here, is there anything that I didn't ask you that you might want to share with people, or any other contact information you want to give them, or anything else that you want to share before we jump off?
Sure. Right now, I want to say that our blog space is changing. So the blog that you go to now to get that 30-minute coaching, it's going to a different system. But you know, you still have time to do that. But anyway, like I said, it's as you grow, you'll start to see that there's, you know, people are more and more. You're going to be able to brand yourself, sell your. There's something you're very good at. And you can use that right now. You don't have to be, you know, like I said, direct sales. It could be your own training. It could be your own, you know, special spark that somebody needs. Don't ever feel inferior to others. I used to feel inferior a long time. You know, I couldn't understand why I was, but it just was in there. So more and more, you're peeling back the onion. Sometimes it's going to hurt, but you're going to be better on the other side. So that's about it, Barbara. That's what I have.
Awesome. And I did go ahead and put your website in the comment on Facebook. So those of you who are still watching, it is joinrayandstephanie.com. That's where you could go to get information, and also be able to connect with Ray to get that free coaching session.
A lot of blog articles too.
Yeah, lots of great blog articles on there too, more tips that you guys can learn stuff. So make sure you check the website out. And then I want to also just give you guys a reminder that the segment that you're watching now is called Barbara Talks Business. We do it every Tuesday at 2. And next week, I will be interviewing Michelle Crane from Crane Shot Solutions. We will be talking about how to recession-proof your business. So you definitely want to make sure to tune in for that Tuesday at 2 next week. And Ray, thank you so much for being here. I look forward to hearing all of the excitement that people get out of reaching out to you.
Awesome. Thank you.